So yes, I'm a recidivist. That is true, because this is the best penitentiary you can ever find in America. Seriously, lots of people come back here for a good reason. First of all, the setting is magnificent. But more important than the setting, that would only work once or twice. It's the collection of people. For journalists, for policymakers, for people in the realm, in the arena, as it is said, it's a great place to be. For a short period of time, tremendous amount of interaction, tremendous amount of learning, and you get a bit of a breather. So we're all in a different habitat, genuinely, and in the terms of typical Washington interactions. Typical Washington interaction is in a hallway or a sit-down thing, and there's usually one or two understood topics. Here, there's a little more slack in the line, intellectually, politically, and the level of engagement. And that makes for better conversations, makes for better learning. That's why another reason why people come back. Sure, so I didn't cover his presidential campaigns. So I never had the express experience. My interactions with Senator McCain were always in the hallways of the Senate, always. And the thing that was great about Senator McCain is he would engage for a long period of time, take a lot of questions, and tell you if you asked what he thought was a stupid question. And when he told you that, it usually meant you were far too close to the bone, like what was really happening, and he didn't want to talk about it then. So I got the major, that's a stupid question, more than once. And the great thing about Senator McCain, that almost always came with a, if you weren't trained, an imperceptible glint in his eye. Like, okay, you're onto something, maybe later, but not now, not here, not in this place. And he was by far, for his Senate colleagues of his era, among the most candid. The other thing you learn as a reporter when you cover the Senate in particular, it's less true in the House, super true in the Senate, how the staff regards the principal. What's the longevity? I don't need to tell anybody watching this. The longevity with Senator McCain was legendary, and there's a reason for that. He barked up, he didn't bark down. That's unique among senators, oftentimes. And it commands respect. He barked at colleagues and he barked up at presidents or secretaries. But he rarely, almost never barked down at those who were working for him or around him. And I always thought that was an important and distinguishing characteristic of Senator McCain. So I'm going to make a general statement, then I'll make a specific statement. There's a general statement about people who are involved in politics who have also served in combat. Not in the military, in combat, in high-stress situations. They know what high-stress situations are. They know what life and death situations are. And they know politics isn't any of those things day to day. It just isn't. And they have a kind of emotional distance that they can convey, and often convey, in their candor and their informality. Like, guys, this isn't the thing you think it is. They say that in the cloakroom with their colleagues, and they say it to reporters. Bob Kerrey was like this. Bob Dole was like this. Lots of people who I interacted with who have actually not just served, and I'm not trying to say one is better than the other, but there is a difference. Senator McCain knew that difference, knew the harshness and decisions and things that feel existential and primal, like, am I ever going to live another day? People who haven't experienced that think politics is like that. Am I going to live another day? Yes, you are. And that distance, in a general way, always let them communicate, I always thought and found, with greater candor, greater clarity, and just a sense of emotional distance of like, this isn't all that. The thing I loved about covering Senator McCain was he was pretty good with a rhetorical jab, but he also dealt with policy and he knew it well. And he took pride in knowing it well. And that's not always true of people who are in legislative politics. And over time, those two things commanded a kind of visibility and authority, which is the sweet spot for anyone in the Senate. Visibility, you have to have it, and authority. And he was also wise enough to know that it would not help him in his effectiveness to climb the leadership ladder, because that's a whole other set of internal party politics. No, it was never for him. Being in but out worked better for him. And he was always in and then out. In, then out. Team player, outsider. Team player, outsider. And I think he navigated that choppy and rocky terrain as well as anyone I saw in either party. The feeling is this is a consequential time with lots of things spinning. And no one really has a sense of if all the things that are spinning, that have been set in motion by the new administration, are net helpful or net harmful, and that there might be some things on the horizon that we should be maybe paying a little bit more close attention to, but we aren't because of all the things spinning. And that goes from executive orders to tariffs to the sort of future of the transatlantic alliance, NATO, Greenland, Panama Canal, Canada. But as we heard from Admiral Paparo last night, there is a very serious thing brewing with China and Taiwan. And we might all find ourselves suddenly, 8 weeks, 12 months, something in between, learning the names of these microscopic little islands around Taiwan on which all sorts of rehearsals were conducted that are changing the way we think about our economic future and the destiny of our relationship with China and the rest of the world. So I would say that's the field.